We welcome you to our Sunday feast program. Before we start our discussion on Bhagavad Gita, we will invoke the blessings of Lordship as well as the Guru Parampara. So please follow after me. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava
Kunja Bihari,
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Jaya
Gopi Jana Vallabha,
Girivaradhari, Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari,
Yamuna Tira Vanachari,
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari,
Jaya Radha Madhava,
Kunja
Bihari,
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari,
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari,
Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana,
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana,
Yamuna Tira Vanachari,
Yamuna Tira Vanachari,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavdineshtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangum Langayate Giram Yatkripataham Mande Shri Gurun Dinatarina Yatkripataham Mande Paramananda Madhavam Yatkripataham Mande Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We welcome you to our Sunday Feast program, and today we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text number 5. Everybody got the book, and it's page number 309. Let's try to recite. Please follow after me. Apareyam idastvanyam
Apareyam Vitastanvam
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho
Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo
Yayedam Dharye Jagat
Yayetam Dharyate Jagata
Apareyam idastvanyam
Apareyam Atistanyam
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho
Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo
Yayedam Dharye Jagat
Yayetam Dharyate Jagat
Apareyam idastvanyam
Apareyam Yatistanyam
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Prakritim Me Param
Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho
Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo
Edam Dharye Jagat.
Yayam Dharyate Jagat
If devotees can try to recite, that will be wonderful.
Apareyatmistanvayam
Apareyam idastvanyam
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo
Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho
Yayetam Dharyate Jagat
Edam Dharye Jagat. Apareyam idastvanyam Prakritim Vidhi Me Param Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Dharyate Jagat. Apareyam idastvanyam Prakritim Vidhi Me Param Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho
Yayetam Dharyate Jagat
Apareyam itastvanyam
Apareyam idastvanyam
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Prakritim Vidhi Me Param
Jiva Bhuta Mahabhaho
Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho
Yedam Dhare Jagat
Yayetam Jayate Jagat. Apareyam idastvanyam Prakritim Vidhi Me Param Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayetam Dharye Jagat. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Translation once more. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Purport. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter, manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of material nature, namely gross, earth, etc., and subtle, mind, etc., are products of the inferior energy. The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord. And it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful as unintelligent men think. The distinction between the living entities and the Lord is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.87.30 as follows. Aparimata druvas tanubruto yadi sarvagatas tarhi nashesh shashyetedi niyamo druvana netaradha ajani chayanmayam tadavimucya niyandar bhavet samam anujanatam yad amatam matadushataya. O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal and all-pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. I'll repeat one more time. O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal and all-pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. But if the living entities are accepted as minute energies of your Lordship, then they are at once subject to your supreme control. Therefore, real liberation entails surrender by the living entities to your control, and that surrender will make them happy. In that conditional position only can they be controllers. In that constitutional position only can they be controllers. Therefore, men with limited knowledge who advocate the monistic theory that God and living entities are equal in all respects are actually guided by a faulty and polluted opinion. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him. These living entities are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same with the Supreme. But they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. While exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy, matter, the superior energy, the living entity, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of the illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation. The false ego, under the influence of material illusion, thinks, I am matter and material acquisitions are mine. His actual position is realized when he is liberated from all material ideas, including the conception of his becoming one in all respects with God. Therefore, one may conclude that Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi-energies of Krishna. And when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimiram Tasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadam Mahyam Dadadi Swapatam Digam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lada Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sandubhyaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Again, welcome to our Sunday program. We are reading from chapter 7, text number 5. And this particular shloka, basically the three shlokas, shloka number 4, shloka number 5, and shloka number 6. They are talking about three important aspects of this material world. Bhagavad Gita is basically speaks about 5 subject matters. 5 subject matters Bhagavad Gita is speaking about. Can we try to think about that or try to make a guess? What are the subject matters which Bhagavad Gita speaks about? It's a very essential understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. What are the 5 subject matters Bhagavad Gita is speaking about? Mataji, can we close that door? Thank you. Yeah. It's a cold room. The air will come in.
Air is one of them.
Air is one of them. Yes.
Earth, water,
Yeah.
fire,
Mm-hmm.
air we already talked about, ether,
Yeah.
mind and false ego.
Absolutely. Those are the elements. Right? Those are the elements. Those called Bhudam, Mahabhudam, Panja Mahabhudam. But that's not what we are talking about. We are talking about the 5 aspects of Bhagavad Gita. Soul, yes. Jiva. One, good. Body, in other words,
Super souls, Paramatma.
Paramatma is, yes, we can take that as Paramatma, Ishvara. Paramatma, if you say as Ishvara, right? The Lord, the controller. So we spoke about the Jiva, the soul, and Ishvara, the Paramatma or the controller. Okay, wonderful, going good.
So yoga, Vikaram Yoga, Sankhya Yoga.
I will take out the yoga, but I'll take the first word, which is
Karma.
Karma. Third one. Kala, the time. Yes.
Bhakti.
Bhakti is interlinked. When we speak about the jiva and the controller, then bhakti comes. Surrender is also bhakti, but one critical element we are looking for. Action is karma. We already covered.
Demigods.
Demigods will also come under jivas. One last thing. No. Somebody say that in a very distant way.
Consciousness or
I will say that. I will give a clue. Prabhu said it's body.
Yeah.
Right? Now, no. Soul is jiva. No. Body and material nature. Yes. Wonderful. See, you answer the questions. And you yourself, everything is there. So let's try to rephrase. First is
Material, me.
jiva. Right? Which is the souls, the Atma, everybody like you. And the Ishvara. Third one, karma, right? The actions. Fourth one, time, kala. Fifth one,
Material world.
material nature, Prakriti. Right? So these are the 5 things which Bhagavad Gita is speaking about. If you're actually, somebody is asking you, what is the, give me Bhagavad Gita in one word, you have to give this. We don't have to, speak volumes and volumes. Bhagavad Gita is speaking about, and everything comes in these 5 aspects. Prabhu was talking about bhakti, right? Bhakti comes there. When there is Jiva, Ishvara and the soul, this Jiva, what is the relation between the Jiva and Ishvara? Bhakti, right? When Mataji was talking about actions, when karma comes, actions are involved, right? Somebody was talking about the soul. When the Jiva is there, soul is automatically there. So everything is just like, what's that? RGB, red, green and blue. If you make the combination of these, you can make so many combinations of colors, right? So similarly, these are the 5 essential things. So this is what we have to understand Bhagavad Gita in Tattvataha. Tattvata means in actuality, in factual understanding of Bhagavad Gita is based on this. Right? We should not beat around the bush when somebody asks, oh, Bhagavad Gita is, yes, Bhagavad Gita, yes, all these things, but essentially what is Bhagavad Gita? This is what's all. So, in the 7th chapter, Krishna is actually talking about the important 3 factors of that. Okay, let's give it an exercise. Okay, let's give a revisal. Let's go to 7.4, go through the translation and tell me, out of these 5 things which we spoke about, what is that one thing which is referred in text number 4?
Material. He's talking about the material world.
Prabhu talk about material, Prakriti. Any other guess? Any other guess?
They're talking about super soul, super Paramatma.
Super soul, yes. Where is that?
It's
My separate material energies. But essentially, the focus is
On Prakriti.
on Prakriti. Prabhu is right. It's on Prakriti, right?
material energy.
It's a material energy. Okay, now let's go to text number 5. Let's go through translation and identify what is the focus point and which one is represented amongst these 5 characteristics of Bhagavad Gita. Text number 5.
First of all, Atma and Paramatma. Paramatma controls the energy. It's in the
Specifically, what is the focus? What is that one word which is focused here?
Exploitation of the material.
That's good.
Cancellation.
Sorry, you said?
Supreme eternal.
Supreme eternal, okay. One word. We spoke about the 5 factors, and one of those factors is in this one, which is a focus. Material. Okay, that's also there. But who is the
There is another superior energy. Supreme Lord.
Supreme Lord? Yes. Jivatma. There you
Living
go.
entity.
He's talking about Jivatma, right? The living entities, right? So in the text 7.4, it spoke about nature. In 7.5, it's the Jivatma. And let's refer to the 7.6 also quickly and go through the translation and find out what was the key factor which is mentioned there. Focus.
Okay, I have the source of these 2.
Talking about the
Material and spiritual world.
Supreme soul, correct. Know for certain that I, am both the origin of all the origin and the dissolution. And this I is, who is speaking?
Krishna.
Krishna. And that I is the super soul. Wonderful. Very nice. This is how we actually have to spin our wheels. Right? So see how nicely these 3 shlokas, it's actually taking the 3 key factors of Bhagavad Gita, which is one is the material nature, the second one is the jivas, and the third one is the Ishvara, right? Very, very important. So we have to understand this material nature. These are the three key factors. There are two other factors also, which is the time and action. Kala and karma, right? And along with that, there are three other factors. So these are the 5 factors Bhagavad Gita is spoken about. And in text number 4, we saw Krishna is speaking about the material nature, inconcise, right? What is that? Let's find out from text number 4, 7.4. What is, material energy or the material nature inconcise? What are the different factors which consist of material energy? Let's go through the translation. 7.4. Earth. Yes. Let's speak Sanskrit here. Let's find out the Sanskrit. Okay. Earth, water. Let's go through first step. The earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Let's find out the Sanskrit for that.
Bhumi.
Bhumi is earth. Any difficulty in understanding that? No? Okay. Water. Apaha. Right? That's something new for us. Okay, let's learn. Apaha. Right? Right. Then, third. Anala. Right? Anala. Right? That's also new for us. Right? Let's learn. Anala. Then, Vayu. That is common. Right? Okay. Then, Kham. Kham means ether. Now, what is ether? Anybody knows what is ether?
It's the medium.
Medium, good answer.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful answer.
Ethernet cable.
Oh, you said that way, but it makes sense actually.
Yeah.
Ether is medium means is like, for example, see, this cable is a medium, right? I was not speaking in that sense. I was speaking ether in a much more broader way of the medium of ether means space.
Transcendence.
Ether means space,
Yeah.
right? Ether means, in some extent, we will say sky also,
Yeah.
right?
Sky and earth in between.
Yes,
Space.
this space, right? And this space is the medium for the sound and the light, right? And the energies. In that aspect is what I agreed to you, right? But it's a good answer. Yes, so ether is, we'll speak about ether in a little bit more because we need to understand that a little bit more, okay? So ether is kham. Then Manaha. Manaha is mind. That is clear, okay? And Buddhi. It's also in intelligence, right? We know. And one more thing.
False ego.
Which is?
False ego. Ahankar.
Right? So these are the 4 things. So can we say earth is Bhumi, then water is Apaha. Can we say another word for earth, water?
Tanni.
Jal, right? Jal, right? Tanni is Tamil, I believe. See, Tamil is said to be one of the oldest languages in India, right? They say that Tamil is as old as Sanskrit. There are even scholars say that Tamil came before Sanskrit. There is a certain scriptures which is written in Tamil, which is I don't know the actual name of that. Prabhu, you know what is the name of that Tamil, which is not the normal colloquial Tamil. It is similar to Sanskrit. It's a Tamil in a different, like you call Sen Tamil, right? Yeah. But this is not Sen Tamil, but it's even primitive than that, right? They say that this Tamil is even older than Sanskrit, but there is no supporting evidences for that. But Definitely, for sure, we know that Sanskrit is the mother of all
They
languages.
say
right?
that it resembles
It is.
Devanagari.
Anyways, because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit. Because it's called Deva Bhasha, when when we hear this Bhagavatam, when we see that when the demons are attacking the demigods will actually go to the Kshira Sagara, the milk ocean, and they are actually praying to the Lord. And what is the language they are actually speaking? The Lord will not say, "Oh, how are you? How are you doing? What's up, buddy?" No, there's no "What's up, buddy." Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasrasha Sahasrapad. It's all Sanskrit, right? Sanskrit. There is I don't know, 1 or 2 villages in Karnataka where they only speak Sanskrit. They only speak Sanskrit. The medium of the communication is Sanskrit, right? So it's nice. So that's what we are just making a humble effort. When next time when we are actually saying, we should not say earth, we should say bhumi. We should not say mind, we should say mana. We should not say intelligence, we should say it's a conscious practice. When we speak Sanskrit, my Guru Maharaj says, Sanskrit is a very powerful language. Sanskrit actually even Sanskrit verses has the power to burn out our sins. Can you imagine? My Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj actually, when he takes bath, when he wakes up, he started reciting all the Bhagavad Gita shlokas, 700 shlokas. And by the time he comes out from the bath, he finishes all the 700 shlokas. And he's always chanting Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Why he's saying? See, we speak so many things, right, Prabhu? So many things. We will be even speaking something. Oh, where is my thing? Oh, where is that thing? Oh, where is the breakfast? All good. But these are all rubbish. But when you say Sanskrit, when you say Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama, and when you're bathing while chanting this mantra, it's very powerful. How many of you know that when you're actually taking bath, you have to take bath in Ganges? And how many of you are taking bath in Ganges every day? Raise your hand. How are you taking bath in Ganges, Prabhu?
Oh,
Glorify Ganga.
glorify. Maharaj said glorify, and then
I'm asking, are you doing that?
not glorifying Ganga, but I start with Prabhupada.
Okay. So Prabhu is doing that. So it said that we have to take bath in Ganges. But here in Canada, where is Ganges? Not possible, right? It is said that we have to invoke Ganges. We have to invoke Ganga, right? And how can we do that? We can actually pray to Ganga. Just simply pray, Ganga, Ganga, Ganga. Take water in your palm, and you just pray Ganga, Ganga, Ganga. Or just simply in mind, you meditate on Ganga, and then you just pour on your thing, and then you take bath. And that way you're actually every day taking bath in Ganges. See how nice it is.
One very quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a YouTube of Gaur Gopal Das,
Mm-hmm.
and this is exactly he talked about. I
See.
think a couple of years ago I heard him,
Right.
and he says when the water falls,
Mm.
the shower is beautiful, all that, but that is not what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
He's interested
In the holy bath.
correct, and that is what he starts his day.
See.
So I think thank you so much.
Yeah.
for sharing that.
So we can all practice. Is that so practical, Prabhu?
Yeah, it's good.
From tomorrow onwards, take water before taking the bath. Take the water, meditate on Ganga, and pour it that, and it's as powerful as you are taking bath in Ganges. See, our Sanatan Dharma is very potent and equally practical. It's equally practical, right? We actually think that it's not. No, it's equally practical. The only thing required is that the firm faith in that and our commitment. That's all it requires. Anyway, we got diverted. So I'm just saying, like, when you taking bath, when you're taking bath, it's a purification happening to your body. And this purification, when this purification is happening to your body, we have to make sure that not only our external body, right, has to be purified, the internal. Gange cha yamune chaiva Godavari Narmada Sindhu Saraswati Kaveri Jale Yasmin Sannidhim Kudu. Om Apavitro Pavitro Va Sarva Avasthan Gato Viva. What is the next one? Sabahya Abhyantara Shuji. Right? Sabahya Abhyantara Shuji. Bahya means external and Abhyantara means internal. Andara means internal. So it's said that it's all nice, good practice. It's a Vedic way of life. That when we are, sometimes people say, I'm a bathroom singer. The moment I'm on the shower, I'm actually started singing the film songs or whatever, right? It was okay so far. For the last 45 years, I've been singing film song, but it's okay. I'm getting old, and I need more strength. I need to purify, and I need to get more empowerment. So let's shift the gears. It's time to shift our gears. Let's take some mantras. Let's recite some shlokas. Let's recite some mantras. If nothing is there, let's chant Hare Krishna mantra. How nice? Yes.
So sometimes when we are remembering, say we are saying Ganga, we are talking. How can I break that thing that I'm here, in a different country? So, but I'm praying to the Ganges, so I'm not able to connect that part.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're saying, like, how will I get how will I make sure that the Ganges will be present even
Yes.
though I'm away?
Yes, and yeah, in the significance.
See, the thing is, these things which we are thinking about is very powerful, right? Ganges, the mantras, the Lord, right? All these things are very powerful. And they can be, and because they are powerful, they can be invoked by your mind, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, if you are, let's say, for example, if you are actually going to in a crowd and you're saying something about somebody, let's say Mr. X, you say that Mr. X is a nonsense. He is this and that. Nobody cares about you. But if you go to in a crowd and you say Justin Trudeau is this and that bad about thing, maybe somebody might ask, looking at you, what are you talking about, right? Even somebody may even give a wrong reaction also. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? Because one is nobody and the second one is a powerful person. So the Lord and his paraphernalias, that means Ganges, Himalayas, Govardhan, Yamuna, all this powerful, and paraphernalia of the Lord, they are so powerful that when we invoke, they will be present, right? And that is what these mantras are very, very important, right? See, for example, when Prabhupada gives this wonderful example. If you are thirsty, right? Then if you say, what is a favorite drink if you wanted to drink if you're thirsty? Of course, water, right? Let's take another one. Let's say lassi, okay? If you're really wanted to drink lassi, and if you're really craving for lassi, and then if you chant lassi, 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 will your craving go away? No, right? But if your mind is really, what is that called? It's distressed and it's actually very turbulent. When you chant the mantra of the Lord, that will actually give you the peace. That will actually settles down your mind. So the mantra is something which actually, the via medium is through the mind. The via medium is through the mind. And it actually communicates through the mind, right? So when we are actually invoking Ganga through the mantra, it actually communicates, as Prabhu was mentioning, like, it will communicate through the mantra to us, and it will produce the same effect as what we are actually invoking the Ganga, right? I'll give you one more example. When we are actually, have you seen Havan? Right? And in the Havan, we are actually, there is a pot and there is a coconut on top of that pot. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And you know what is that coconut? Kalash is the pot.
Yeah.
And on the top of that pot, they put something like a coconut.
Yeah.
And around the coconut, there is mango leaves and all.
Yeah.
How many of you have not seen that? Everybody have seen, right? What is that coconut? Do you know what is a coconut? Is the head? No.
Like I've heard my family somebody say that coconut is like a head, so maybe.
Yes, to some extent, but it's a representation. It's a representation of a personality.
So Shri Ganesh.
Sri Ganesh, no. I mean, there are different sampradayas of yajnas, Prabhu. So I'm not completely disagreeing to you, but I'm talking about the normal Agnihotri sampradaya of fire sacrifice. It is a general thing. It is Brahma. It is a Brahma, and all the demigods are present there, right? And what is the Agni? The fire. What is the representation of fire?
Purifier.
Yes, but which personality represents the fire there? And we are actually pouring the ghee, we are pouring the akshatas, we are actually pouring the the fruits, everything, right? What is the representation of fire? Who said Ishvara? Ishvara, yes, specifically? Specifically? No. I'm looking for that word. Vishnu, yes. Yajno, why Vishnu? This is very important. When we are speaking about yajna, the yajna means Vishnu. Okay, Vishnu. What exactly is the fire representing?
Burning of our.
Yes, Prabhu, but it is the tongue of Vishnu. It is and that is why we are actually pouring the ghee too. And when we are pouring to the fire, these ingredients, Lord will accept through His tongue, and fire is His tongue. See, these are all we think that, these are all like, your beliefs and all. No, this is very powerful. And that's what, these are representations of the Lord's presence. And that is how, similarly, when we take the Ganga, like, have you seen people taking bath in Ganga? They take the water, they will chant the mantra, and they will offer back to Ganga. Right? Have you seen that? Take the water, they will chant the mantras, and they will offer back to Ganga. What is that doing? It's doing an offering. Right? They are actually doing, when they are praying, they are thinking that, okay, let this be my offering. So in the mind, they will be thinking this as flowers. So the same water, they will be offering as flowers. The same water, they will be offering as other prasad, bhoga, all these things, right? So it's in the mind, we actually do the sankalpa. And with the sankalpa, when we invoke them, they will be coming. Like, for example, if a boy, he is thinking about his lover in his sankalpa, let her be here, will she be there? No. It is just simply a material sankalpa. But when a person is actually thinking about the Supreme Lord, he will be present there. Not as physically, but he will be giving that presence, and we will get the presence, we'll feel the presence by his, this ecstasy or the bliss which we experience with him, right? So same way, we are not pure there. I'm just saying, so tomorrow you'll ask, so Prabhu, I was meditating on the Lord, I was not feeling ecstasy, because we need to have to practice, right? The yoga practice needs to be there. But what I'm trying to say is that these practices are very powerful. And when we do that, the presence of Ganga will be there for sure, right? And that's what we have to do. So I was saying these elements, coming back to this shloka, so this bhubi rapu analo vayu kham mano buddhi revacha, right? Ahankara iti yamme Bhinna Prakriti Ashtata. So these 8 elements, right, consist of earth, water, fire, then what's that called? Earth,
Ether,
water,
medium.
fire,
Yeah.
air, ether,
Mind,
mind, intelligence, and false ego.
Yeah.
Out of these, 4 are gross. Gross means what?
You can see.
We can see and experience.
Yeah.
Right? What are the 4 things which we can see?
See,
Earth,
Yeah.
water, fire,
Fire.
and air. To some extent, we can see, feel, and experience. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to ether, that's what we want to. When it comes to ether, what is ether? We spoke about ether as space, right? How the space is an element. It is very technical. It takes a little. It took some time for me to understand. That doesn't mean that I have totally understood that, but I got an understand. I was settled on that. Prabhupada says that, see, space is an element, or space is a, let's take that space as an ingredient, so to speak. Okay, let's say, for example, if I wanted to make chapati, I need atta, I need water, maybe I need some salt. I can make one. So ingredients are there, right? Similarly, consider this ether as or space as an ingredient or a essential factor, right? I'll try to explain you. We have to have our Sunday program, right? And there are 70 people coming to our program. And first and foremost thing is required is space. Just don't. I'm unable to explain what I was trying. What I'm thinking. But let me try to think that as a essential factor. When we say that's a room, oh, I need a room for 100 people. When we speak about a room, essentially we are speaking about ether. We are speaking about space. Space is required for everything, right? For everything, space is required. For example, let's say, if you just get into a car, we think that, okay, that is a vacant place. It is a space, and that itself is a element. You see what I'm trying to say? That itself is an element. So if something is blocking, that element is getting obstructed. Like, for example, if I switch off this light, what is happening? It's completely dark. Okay? When I switch on the light, the darkness, that particular element is getting disappeared. You see what I'm saying? Right? For example, our Pandey Prabhu is sitting on that seat. Can I sit on that seat? No. The ether of that particular space is gone. It's been occupied by him. Now, if he moves to other seat, then that ether is available for me. You see? Difficult to understand, right?
So just
You're getting me? What I'm trying to say? So consider that as a factor which is required for a particular, same like an ingredient. We talk about the 3 ingredients for making roti, right? Same way, for anything to perform, this ingredient is required. Yes.
Can we say that when you do yajna,
Mm.
the ether in that around that place
Mhm.
gets purified?
Not only either, everything.
Yeah, but ether is one
Of
of
course,
those.
it's one of this. Everything is getting purified. See, when you are actually performing yajna, the person who is actually doing the yajna, the person who is actually witnessing the yajna, the person who are all the people, the things around, everything is getting purified. Not only the ether. That's a different thing. But here we are talking about ether as a element, right? So ether is required for anything, Prabhu. So we take it for granted, or we don't even understand that there is something called an ether. Isn't that true? But when we see that as an element, because that's what I was trying to explain you. It took some time for me to understand why ether is put as an element. I can understand about air, I can understand about water, I can understand about fire, all. But what is this space? What is the significance of space? The space is very significant. Without a space, there is no activity happening.
Like in moon, there is no air, but there is ether in moon.
There is
You can say
ether.
that, right?
Exactly. Now you're getting the point, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? So ether is a definition of a space by which we can actually either occupy that space or do some activities for that. For example, let's translate into our normal, language. If I call our Anshu Prabhu and say like, Prabhu, we want to meet. First thing he's asking about is what? Where? Right? First thing he's asking, where? We are not even thinking that that is a space which we require. Okay, let's meet at temple, or let's meet at Tim Hortons. Let's meet at your place. So there is a space which is required for that, and that is an element which is identified. See how profound our Sanatana Dharma is. Right? It's very deep and profound. Yes, Prabhu.
No, so I think Ramesh Prabhu's point, I just want to piggyback a little bit on that. That no air, no water also on moon, and no earth also. So in other words, beyond this earth,
Yeah.
there is ether.
You can say that. You can
Because
say that.
in this earth, where the ether is,
Mm-hmm.
it is also taking the elements of other parts.
Mm-hmm.
Water there is air.
Yeah.
So if we create a building,
Yeah.
we have earth, we have water, we have all that kind
Right.
of stuff, right? But I guess this is way beyond our thinking even. To which we are discussing space. Space doesn't have none of these elements but ether.
Well, no, we cannot say that. See, when you say space, it's a bigger realm.
Yeah.
For example, they are saying that in Mars there is traces of water. See, air and water and all there, Prabhu. It's not about that. See, when we say that, okay, they touched the moon, there is also earth there. The definition may be different. We are not talking about the earth here, but earth, the elements are there. When you speak, that's a basic understanding. Anything and everything we speak about in this material world. When I say this material world doesn't belong only this earth, right? There, earth is just a tiny mustard seed in the whole bag of the creation, right? Earth is just a tiny, minute particle. There are, the whole, our solar system, right? And there is a sun. And then, like that, there have been so many suns and so many solar systems in our galaxy, right? And there are billions and trillions of galaxies like that, right? And trillions of galaxies like that, right? So we are not only, and all these different elements are there in different ways, right? The air we are talking about is not the same the air we are talking about there, but the air is there. The elements are there in all material universes, right? That's a fact. Ether is also there, right?
In one sentence, the entire creation, without these five elements, they cannot.
It cannot exist. Yes, that's the right thing, right?
Five elements is
We say that in moon water is not there, but it's there in a different form, right? Like for example, in our body, all these things are there. Do you know that, Prabhu?
Yeah.
In our body is all there. Do we have water in our body? What is a
70%, more than 70%.
water, right? There is air there, right? There is earth there. And what is earth in our body? Flesh, correct? Yes, right? And that's what when we are actually they bury, the body will actually dissolve to earth because it goes to earth. All the elements go back to the earth, right? Anyway, coming back. So all these different, ether, that's something I just wanted to mention because sometimes people get confused. They will not understand the importance of ether, and they don't even understand what the ether is, right? They will think that ether is something here. Actually, Sanskrit we are not finding a suitable word for this either. We may say that space, or we may say that it's an ether, but it's much more subtle and sublime than that. And that's what I was trying to explain in this way, right? So we say that it's a space. So we limit that concept by putting into a word called space. You see what I'm saying? Right? But it's much more than that. And another important aspect of ether is to communicate to the as a medium of the sound. Right? So all these things are subtle, are gross, and then the next three things, either mind, intelligence, and false ego, are subtle. That means we cannot see or we cannot experience. Experience means with our senses, right? So if you see, these are all like, gross to the subtle level. Earth is the grossest one. When see that we can actually definitely, touch earth, we can see earth, we can smell earth and all, right? Water, it's even subtler than earth. Fire is even subtler than earth and water. Air is even subtler than earth, water, fire, right? And then ether is the most subtle one, right? And then mind, false ego, and intelligence are the three things which is even we cannot understand. Where is your mind? Can we see our mind? No, we cannot see because it's subtle, right? But this is also considered as material or gross. Material or external energy of the Lord. So these are all material. These all come under the external energy, which is called the Sanskrit word for that material nature. Prakriti. Come under the Prakriti, right? So when we speak about what is Prakriti, then we have to say that these are the 8 things of Prakriti. Let's give it a try without looking at the book.
In Sanskrit also.
Sanskrit also, wonderful. Yes, let's give. Bhumi, Vayu, Anala, yes. Agni is good. Yes, Agni, yes. Apaha, wonderful. Yes. Ahankar, yes. Manaha, Kham, yes. And one more. Buddhi. Nice, wonderful. See, we study. Bhagavad Gita class is over. So this is how we have to learn ourselves. We have to put our mind and intelligence in. My spiritual master always used to see, an intelligent or a smart student. The difference between a normal student and a smart student is a matter of 5 minutes. What is that 5 minutes? He will listen and then he will also think, right? So the Shrinvan means hear. Supatan means study. Vicharana paro. Vicharana means think, right? So this is how we have to study Bhagavad Gita. We hear, and then we will actually. How will we do? ISKCON say? ISKCON. That's how ISKCON has come. Normally ISKCON is like, ISKCON. That went from this year to this year. No, it should not be like that. It should from ISKCON to Andar. That is the real meaning of ISKCON. From this year to, not through this year, it should be, we should close this year and it should go inside, internalize, as Prabhu was mentioning. Very nice. See, these are all like beautiful, nice, subtle informations, or rather knowledge, vijnan or jnana, which we need to understand, Prabhus, because we learn so many nonsense things. I'm saying like nonsense things, it's all required for our life, but this will goes away with our body. But this will actually stay with us. Gajendra was an elephant. How many of you know the story of Gajendra? Gajendra was an elephant. In previous life, he was King Indradyumna. And he learned all these Sanskrit shlokas. But because he has committed a small sin, and it's not even deliberate, it was what is that called? He involuntarily committed that offense, right? Anyway, that's a big story, and because of which he was cursed to become an elephant. Okay, and this Gajendra, he was actually spending his life in actually enjoying this material life as an elephant, but finally, when a crocodile actually, bite him on his leg. He just caught his leg, and he was not leaving. And this Gajendra was actually in his final moments, because he knew that this crocodile is not leaving my leg, and he was literally going to die there. And when it is last moment, imagine he's an elephant. He remembered this sloka which he studied in his previous life. And he was praying to the Lord. He was started praying. Immediately that came, right? He was just praying Om. I forgot the sloka. In that one, he was like, he was praying to the Lord, right? And then he was saying like, you are the Supreme Lord. You are the Supreme Person. But Gajendra could not remember the name of the Lord. He was saying all the, you are the Supreme Lord, you are the great, there is no one before and after you. He was, giving the adjectives of the Lord, but he was not remembering the Lord, right? And when he was praying to the Lord, and then Lord came on Garuda, and when he saw Garuda, then he remembered Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. He remembered then. When he saw the Lord, when he came in the Garuda, then he took a lotus, and then he just called the Lord Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Then he remembered. Imagine. That was an elephant. So it is said that we are speaking so many things, unwanted things, or we are talking about so many unwanted things. These are the things which we also need to understand, because these things will never go away. When Ajamil, how many of you know the story of Ajamil? Ajamil was a Brahmana, a very, very pious Brahmana, but then he did commit some sin, and because of which he was dragged into the worst material condition of life. But one good thing he has done, and that was he named his son the name as Narayana, right? Only one good thing he has done in his life. So obviously a person who is very sinful, his life is going to be very miserable at the end. And then at his deathbed, the Yamadutas came to take him, and he could see Yamadutas coming. And when he saw Yamadutas, he got frightened. And then he was calling his younger son by the name Narayana. And then he was taken, when he was about to taken by these Yamadutas, Vishnudutas came and said that you cannot take this person. Why? Because he called the name Narayana. But then Yamadutas, no, he was calling his son. He was not calling Narayana. Doesn't matter. He remembered the name of the Lord. The name itself has the potency. Can you imagine? So it takes a lot of. So we have to understand that even though he had committed so many sins and he had committed so many offenses, initially he was practicing all these things. So Prabhu's Matajis, we have to, my humble request, we are doing our material activities. We are doing our job, everything is okay because it's required. Along with that, we have to be prepared for our final time also. Because my spiritual master used to say, like, when we are at the deathbed, we will be going through so many emotions, because the Shastra says that in Garuda Purana there is a great explanation about what is going on when we will be at the last moment. All your senses will be choked up, and you will be having a pain of 10,000 scorpions biting at one time, and then you will see all these bad things you have done in your life. It's just like a movie, right? And then you will be in a much more painful situation at that time when the soul is leaving the body. At that moment of time, if you don't know any of this subtle mantras or any of these prayers, nothing will come to rescue. But if you know any of these mantras, then this will come to your rescue. At that time, your mind will chant. At that time it will come to your thing. And that's what the examples of this Ajambal, this elephant. I'll give one practical example. One Mataji who was a devotee, she was from Russia, I believe, right? Just imagine, she was born in Russia, has no spiritual background whatsoever. She was chanting. She became a very nice devotee, and she was been chanting her, almost like 20 or 25, 30 years or whatever. Now, she got Alzheimer's, right? And she completely forgot everything. And she was not at all aware about her family members. She was not even remembering her own name. Can you imagine a situation? But one thing she was remembering, that was Hare Krishna Mahamantra. She was continuously chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in her till her last moment. And this mantra was very powerful, that she was chanting the Mahamantra and she left her body with that. Can you imagine if a person who is chanting the mantra and leaving her body? Liberation, mukti. Right? That is the power of mantra. This is a living example in front of us. Go to YouTube and look. I forgot that. You know the name, Prabhu Mataji? Yeah, just look for type in something like that. Like, a person, a devotee with Alzheimer's, chanting Mahamantra. You might get a video of she chanting. She don't know anybody. She don't know anybody. Her sons, father, sons, nobody. She don't even know her name.
But except the mantra, she forgotten
Everything.
Memory loss.
So, Prabhu, this is very important. We have to practice that. So, that's what, in our daily routine, we have to inculcate all these nice things into our life. Chant the mantra. Chant some nice, study some nice shlokas. Nice prayers. There are so many prayers in Bhagavatam or in this thing. Like, nice shlokas. Some of the shlokas, we just take it and, ask Prabhu or somebody or some of us, we can help you, like we give some shlokas. You just, what you have to do, take a printout, stick it to your place wherein you will frequently see, mostly on your refrigerator on top of that, or in an office space wherein you can actually put there, and then just read it once, that's it. Once a day, you just read it, and then that's it. You don't have to sit and, memorize. No, you don't have to. You just read once. And trust me, in a week, you will memorize that shloka. And then you just repeat it. Now, take another shloka, right? And you can, that way you can actually, and repeat it. When you're actually taking bath, when you're actually, driving, you just repeat that. And when you repeat, repetition make it permanent, right? And then when our situations like that, when our body and mind and our consciousness is not in our control, this will come. Because this is more subtle than all other things. This is more subtle, sublime than all other things, right? So that's what in this shloka, Krishna is saying, like, this jiva is much more superior than all this material nature. In 7.4, it was talking about the material nature, which is earth, water, and all this mind and everything. But superior to this material prakriti is jiva, right? Do you agree? What is the meaning of superior means? Or what do you mean by superior to this material nature means? So there is this all material nature, prakriti, which consists of earth, water, fire, ether, mind, false ego, and intelligence. And then there is jiva. What is jiva? Soul. And it says that the soul is superior to this thing. How can we say that it is superior to this thing, to the material nature, all these elements?
The fire cannot burn it, water cannot make it wet.
Oh, very nice.
All those
Yes,
things.
that is true in the first level of understanding. But beyond that,
Power, it's more powerful.
The soul chooses the body.
the soul chooses the body. Very nice. Very nice. Exactly. Very nice. The soul chooses the body, because now that shows that who is more prominent, who is more powerful. Correct. Good question. Good answer. Any other thoughts?
Soul is made out of super soul.
Soul is made of super soul. right? That means, which is again, the super soul is the Ishvara, which is Paramatma, and from him comes the soul. And definitely, it has to be superior to the inferior nature, right? What else? Any other thoughts?
To use, we need a jiva.
Beautiful answer. To use, we need a Jivatma. I'll give an example. Let's say there is a bus, right? The bus is full of, forget about bus. There is a car. There's a car. It's a very, hi-fi or, brand new car, right? Full of gas. It's filled with gas. Everything is in top-notch condition. But the car is dead. Why?
No driver.
No driver. So we say that it's a $3 million car, right? It's a Bugatti Veyron or whatever, right? Brand new, filled with, it's got the brand new tires, brand new brakes, fully conditioned. Everything is perfect, but the car is as good as nothing. So somebody has to be there to drive it. So Prabhu's answer is the right one. That's a to the point answer. Somebody has to. That's what called Dharite Jagat. In this shloka, it has to be Dharite Jagat. And Mataji's answer is also correct because it came from the Supreme. See, the Supreme Lord, we think that, okay, we are the greatest. We can actually manufacture the things which are superior nature, right? And we make the things, right? We make great innovations, no doubt about that. But it's very limited to our intelligence. Compared to the intelligence of the whole creation, our intelligence is this much, right? Prabhupada says an example. Lord can actually create a whale. You know the whale? Timingala. Whale. Right? Or an elephant or a dinosaur. We can also make a big thing like that. What is a big thing compared to a whale or a dinosaur? A submarine or a ship. Correct? So that way we can say that I am equal to God. He can create a whale and I can also create a submarine. Now, God can create a mosquito that flies. Can we create a mosquito that flies? Have you seen a mosquito, a robot mosquito, Prabhu? Anybody? Decrease the size. God can even create a fly. The fly, the small fly which comes on our sweets and all, the fruits and all, the fruit fly. What's that called? Fruit fly?
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Good bugs.
Fruit fly. What is the size of a fruit fly, Prabhu? 1/3 or 1/10 of a mosquito. And that flies. That has got a wing. That has got all the mechanisms. That's got a brain. That got a nervous system. That's got a heart. Can we create one? See, God can create macro. God can create micro. We can only create things which can be handled with our hands. We may say nanotechnology, but nanotechnology will only translate to the things which we can perceive even to the microscope. Which actually goes beyond the microscopic level. God can create an amoeba which reproduces. We cannot. Right? So that's what Mataji was saying. We came from that. We are jivas. And we are always superior to the nature. Now what is happening is that we are so dull-headed, we are so become downtrodden that we are becoming slaves to this material things. Right? We have actually completely becoming slaves to these material things. And we have completely forgotten our superior nature and we have becoming slaves to this material nature. So that means the jiva being here is actually coming beneath the material nature and we become slaves. And that's when all this artificial intelligence is coming. Now we need artificial intelligence. Why? Because we don't believe in our intelligence. Seriously. That's what. Earlier we don't need a calculator. Most of us didn't need a calculator. Even I need a calculator now. Fortunately, I was born and studied at an age where calculator was not allowed in our classrooms.
Yeah.
We had to study our multiple tables, multiplication tables. We have to study our periodic tables. We have to study the names of this thing. We have to by heart the things. We have to do the mental mathematics, right? I used to remember at least 10-15 phone numbers, minimum at that time. I was born grown up at a time where there was only land phone. There was no this thing. So I remember my neighbor's number, my mom's office number, my father's office number, my uncle's number. I remember. How many of you are with me? You're all there, right? We are so fortunate. We are so fortunate, Prabhu's Maharajas. I am just telling you this. We are so fortunate to live at least that we have seen that place where there was no internet. I was born and I was raised at a time there was no internet. Life was so beautiful. So beautiful. There was only one Doordarshan and there was only Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana. And we used to enjoy Ramayana like anything. Isn't that true?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. I could remember that was the time we bought a TV, black and white, with a shutter. How many of you remember a TV with a shutter? Holy, that was so amazing that when the shutter was open, it's like, shutter to the heaven was opening. It's got a key also. Can you imagine? It seems to be very funny nowadays, but it's got a key. And the key is with my father. He would only open after our studies. And when we open this thing on Sundays, there will be 10-15 people sitting on our room. Our neighbors also were sitting. So enjoying the things. So in Chitrahar, we used to enjoy so many things. Only 5 songs will come. And we are glued to that. We are so happy and I'm so fortunate that I was living. Nowadays, Prabhu, distractions. I will say one example how kids are distracted now. I saw one small boy. Maybe he might be like 5-year-old or something. He's having his father's mobile phone and he was watching YouTube. Okay? Some cartoon, something like that. Now, the cartoon is playing. Now, while this cartoon is playing, what is he doing? He is scrolling through the other videos and see which is the next one. And then he clicks on that next video. That video plays. Then he scrolls through the next video. He's totally distracted. See, the YouTube, the new technology itself is distracting us. Within that technology is distracting. You see what I was trying to say? He puts a video, but once the video starts playing, he's not looking at that video. He's looking at the other, the YouTube will actually pop you the related videos, right? He was scrolling through other videos, clicks that video, then that video starts playing, then again scrolling. Is he seeing any particular video at any moment? No. He's getting distracted after distracted. I'm just trying to say, these are all like, we are becoming slaves to this thing. See, our mental capacity is so large and wide. We have no idea what is the capacity of our mind, our memory. Prabhu, our capacity, I was hearing a lecture, and in that one, he's a scientist, he was saying we can store the information of all the libraries in this world, and more than that. Just imagine, how much information do we know? We know so many things, right? See, for example, if I see our Prabhu, and then by seeing him, I identify him, right? And I just call him by his name and I hug him. Why? Because when I see him, what's happening is that information goes to my mind, goes to the particular section wherein that particular personality is there, go to that particular file, and then it'll actually take that information, compares the face and the information stored in my mind, and then it actually say that, yes, this is this person. That's how I identify. Isn't that true? Right? That's what's happening. Instantaneously it is happening. When I say Anshu Prabhu, I just saw him, and then what happens is that information is captured into my mind, so my brain. It actually takes that information which is stored in my brain, compares it, yes, I know this person. How much time it takes for this thing to happen? Milliseconds, fractions of milliseconds. Just imagine our capacity. Same way, what all things we know, Prabhu? Everything which we perform in our life is based on our memory. I know that this is mobile phone. Why? This mobile phone information is my thing. I know I have to open by my password, that is there. I know this is microphone because that information is there. I know this is a chair. I know this is a speaker. I know this is a mobile phone. I know this is thing. How much information is there in our mind, in our thing? And how much more information can we store? Unlimited. Now what we are doing is that we are actually saying that, no, I don't want to take that effort. I just want to suppress it. So we are not using our capacity, right? And we are actually getting subdued to this external energy, and we are actually forgetting our superior nature of being the jiva, right? And most importantly, taking the shelter of or coming under these external energies. It is said that as jivas, we have to take shelter of the superior energy. What does that mean? Now we understood how we are actually taking shelter of the inferior energy. How?
By using all this stuff, right?
Well, I mean, there is no harm in that. What I'm trying to say that there is no harm in that. But we have to identify what we are, right, Prabhu? As a smart person, we have to identify what we are. I mean, can we say that from today onwards I'm not using this phone? No, we cannot. We are actually tied up to that kind of a situation now. One of the, I will say, in Toronto temple. I don't know how many of you have gone to Toronto temple. It's a big temple. And one of the big events, I think it's Gaur Purnima or somewhere, it's packed. And the Arati or something was going on, and it's extremely packed. And there's one girl, maybe she might be like 14, 15, maybe 16. She pretty much fainted. She blacked out because of this, crowd, and she was not able to breathe and everything. And then she almost like fell, and then somebody threw water on her face and everything, and she woke up. And in the middle of that, she was asking, like, where is my phone? Where is my phone? She didn't even open her eyes. I was literally there. She didn't even open her. She was just halfway of getting conscious. And even that semi-conscious, first thing she was, where is my phone? Because she was obviously on her phone. And then that's how we are actually under this material nature. As a smart person is saying, like, okay, this is all fine. We need a phone, we need a car, we need a job, we need everything. That's okay. It's all fine. But they should not be using us. We should be using them. Isn't that true? Radha Maharaj says that, earlier we used to have blackberries and apple, but we used to eat them. But now they used to eat us, right? That's the difference. So we should use that, but we should be smart and intelligent. Most of us are almost like about 40, 45. It's a time for us now to, be smarter. Life starts at 45. Prabhu's Mataji's, let's be smarter. Right? This is the smart and intelligent way of, fine, we have to take, but we have to put our consciousness, we have to put our life in the hands on a superior thing. And this is what I said. I spent so much time in how to make our life Vedic, how to make our life much more sublime, like reciting the mantras. Can you imagine how nice and how beautiful is that when you're actually chanting Sanskrit mantras? How powerful is that? Doing meditation, doing yoga, becoming sattvic in our life, in our eating, in our dealings, in our ahara, nidra, bhaya, maitunam, all these four things, trying to become a little bit more sublime, trying to become much more smarter. This will actually make our life even more beautiful. And that is how we really fulfill the purpose of being a jiva. we really fulfill the purpose of being a jiva, that then we know that yes, this is not my base. I'm just putting this as an example, Prabhu, because this is only the handy thing which I can show. I'm just saying, like, all the other things which we are actually putting our life under, we think that we are slaves of this thing. No, I'm not. I'm using this. I am the owner. As somebody was saying, Prabhu is saying, like, no, I am the owner of the car, not the car is owner. Like, I've seen people who are actually really just, polishing the car, and then he's just looking like from here and then. He don't care about himself, he just care about the car. No, I'm just using the car. They should not use us. I'm just saying, like, we should be raising our consciousness to that level, thinking that I'm superior to these things. And I should really be superior to that. Manasa, Vacha and Karmana. Not only by this thing. Inside me, I should be knowing that. Inside, I should not be thinking otherwise. Inside, I should be thinking, I should be feeling, and I should be willing. That way, we should raise ourselves, to that level where we now are actually raising our consciousness, our life, our standards of the life in such a way that now we are not dealing with these inferior things. We are dealing with something superior. Hare Krishna. So I sincerely wanted to thank all the devotees who have come over here, and beg pardon if I have said something wrong. Is there any quick questions we can take? Yes, Prabhu.
Forget about Costco.
Forget about Costco? Yes. Yeah, we will bring it Costco next time. Yeah, I always bring Costco as a great. I've seen some. See, Costco is a place wherein you can see all kind of nice things, weird things. Oh yeah. Costco is one of the places wherein we can actually see. Yeah, I'm also part of that. I'm not an exception. I'm also part of the audience. But yes, we will bring Costco next time.
Prabhuji, thank you so much. It's always enlightening to listen to you.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Shri Bhagavatam ki, Bhagavad Gita ki, Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, do it. I'll be there though.
Hare Krishna. So now we will be having the Arati for the Lord. And we will be singing from the songbook, page number 6.
Ki bajaya jaya gaura chande arati ko shobha. Ki bajaya jaya gaura chande arati ko shobha. কিবা বসি আছে গৌরচান রত্না সিংহাসনে আরতি করে না ব্রহ্মা আদি দেব গানে শিব নর হরি আরতি করে চমর দুলায় সঞ্জয় মুকুন্দ বাসু ঘোষ আদি গায়ে শিব শঙ্খ বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে বাজে করতালা মাধুরা মৃদঙ্গ বাজে পরম রসালা শঙ্খ বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে মাধুর 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 বাজে বাজে ঘন্টা বাজে মাধুর 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 বাজে শিব বহু কোটি চন্দ্রজিনী বদন উজ্জ্বলে কালা দেশে বন মালা করে ঝলমালা শিব শিব শুক নারদ প্রেম গদ গদা ভক্তি বিনোদ দেখে গৌর সম্পাদা শিব জয় জয় গৌরচাঁদে আরতি কো শোভা জানবিতাতওয়ানে জগমন লোভা গৌরাঙ্গে আরতি কো শোভা জগ জন মান লোভা গৌরাঙ্গে আরতি কো শোভা জগ মান লোভা জয় গৌরনিতাই 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 জয় গৌরনিতাই হরি बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने
Krishna Prasaya
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Time to offer obeisance to the Supreme Lord. Jai Namo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhujikacharya Stotra. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Founder Acharya ISKCON Guru B.B. Guru Srila Abhayacharya Narvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Namo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhujikacharya Stotra Srimati Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Gangamai ki jai. Yamunamai ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Radha Krishna Kunda Giri Govardhari ki jai. Jagannath Pradesh Subhadramai ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mayapur Navadip Dham ki jai. Mathura Dham ki jai. Puri Dham ki jai. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। नित्य गौ सीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to Guru and Gauranga, Hare Krishna. All glorious to Prabhupada. All glorious to Gurudev. Nithai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. So now we'll be singing the Narsimha Pranam. That will be on page number 8. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaha dadayini. Praladaha dadayini. Praladaha dadayini.
भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की पतित पावन श्री प्रभुपाद की